What up YouTube, Kuya8 here, Kuya to some, friend to all. Today on the channel, I miss my cousins. Today on the channel we're going to be continuing our deep dive, looking at specific console sets within my collection, looking at how many games I have for it, how I play it, how I store it, and some notable memories and items from that collection. Today, we are going to be looking at that badass cousin of a console. He's edgy, he's cool, he's black. Today we're going to be looking at my Sega Genesis collection. So growing up in the early 90s, the majority of kids around me were Super Nintendo kids. But if you were that one Sega Genesis kid, it seemed like you were the one that was really buying into the whole rivalry marketing, touting the blast processing and blood that was on the Sega Genesis.
Say it.
Telling us how uncool we were. But us Nintendo dorks, we were like, that's cool. We're just gonna be over here trading games amongst each other. And you were just kind of like by yourself, playing by yourself. Personally, I have fond memories of the Sega Genesis. I had these cousins who were really like my brothers. They had a Sega Genesis. They don't call me anymore. I really miss them. But as a kid, I would spend the summer with them watching Raw's War and waking up early to play gems like Sonic 2 or WWF Royal Rumble, games that I didn't have. Those were golden times. I had a time machine now. And we're back in the game room again. An honest representation, like I said in the last video, of how my game room usually looks. You know, I got boxes over here, got a bin of stuff for sale over there. But today, the Sega Genesis. I keep it over here in this like nook of an area. This is the boxed, I don't know if they're complete, but the boxed Sega Genesis games are right there. This is kind of like the Sega area. And if you continue, you know, into the nook, these are cassette, like vintage cassette tape holders. They have mounting hardware in them, actually. You see right there. I can hang it on my wall, and they act as shelving. You know, really cheap. You find these at the thrift store for like nothing because nobody collects cassette tapes anymore. So I'll give you a quick pan of all my Sega Genesis games. I have in total 197 Sega Genesis games. These are all alphabetically ordered, but I put all the red games. I'm a stickler for that kind of thing. I like all the red games together, and I put all the darker colored ones at the bottom here. But within those parameters, they are all alphabetized. Here, well, let's look at the boxed stuff first. So when I look at these shelves, I don't rehearse this part. Like, I don't have a script. I just kind of like to go into this and see what memories get triggered. Probably my most expensive loose game. This is a repro cover. Splatterhouse 3. Where did I find this game, actually? Oh my god. Okay. When you open it up, you see in the back, I bought this for 30 bucks back in the day at P&P Games. That's our local retro video game store here in the city. We got some Maximum Carnage, Gunstar Heroes. Ooh, I have a video about this. I found this in a lot of Sega Genesis games that I got at a, what is it called? Garage sale, yard sale. And this was another great find from the thrift store. I won it was like a window auction they had at the Goodwill. They had a Sega Genesis with a bunch of games in it, and this is the game I really wanted. It was Earthworm Jim 2. This was in that lot as well. Oh, this game. I bought this locally for 40 bucks. It had a little bit of water damage on the back, but it is complete. I remember I bought this one at P&P Games for like $14.99 back in the day. That was a pretty good find, I think. Oh yeah, see, there it is. I did a case swap. This one says Battletoads and Double Dragon. Did I pay $7 for that game? Well, Boogerman, a pick and flick adventure. I always wanted this game, and I was so happy I found it at the thrift store. I must have did a swap for some reason, and I got that game for $7. Can you see how the market has shifted from $7 to whatever this game is worth now? Wordener. I made this case myself, if you couldn't tell. It was more tongue-in-cheek. I made this case for fun, but this was a loose card. Where did I find this card? Let's open it up. Is there... Oh, yeah. This was a Value Village find for 3 bones. Value Village. That's Salvation Army, dummy. The games that I enjoyed with my cousins in the summertime, we were big wrestling fans. I remember staying up all night trying to figure out how to do all the special moves for all the characters in this game. Great music in this game, too. Sega Genesis had that awesome FM chip or whatever. Their music just sounded more rock and roll compared to the Super Nintendo's. Find, thrift store, find, thrift store, find. This one, oh, this was probably my most favorite thrift store find and my most favorite discovery. Hidden gem, if you will. I didn't know this game existed before I found it at the thrift store. I think I kept the sticker on the back of it. Yes, I did. Found in 2010 for $1. Probably the greatest flip. But this game has great music. It's actually a fun, it's fun gameplay. The concept is very interesting. You're dancing your enemies to death. These are all variant covers of Sonic the Hedgehog here. But Sonic the Hedgehog, I have fond memories of that, playing that at my cousin's house in the summertime. I really wish it would call me. Let's see what else we find here. A lot of thrift store stuff. Oh, Rocket Knight. Man, this one was a garage sale find, but goddamn was it a beautiful game. Again, a game I never played growing up, but a game I discovered in my retro video game collecting journeys. Such a fun game. A very special game to me. The origins of Noah in our group. There's a story behind this. I found... Oh, this case was given to me by 64-Bit Matthew. Mentioned on the channel many times. He gave me the case, and I think the manual that was inside here was missing the game, though. And I don't know... Well, I guess we had a video talking about it, and fan of the show, now friend of the show, Noah, had the game. He found it at the thrift store, and he sold it to me and Lester. We had to go meet him at the university one day. And it gave us a good deal. I don't want to talk about it, but that game is such a special game to me because it led us to one of the good friends of our channel. Good boy Noah. He's a full-grown man. I'm just joking around. And lastly here, I'll show this. These are, if you didn't grow up in the video rental era, this may be like very alien to you, but these are what they look like when you rented them from the video rental store. Those stores don't exist anymore. All right. From here, we will swing bada to the loose games. I'll just show you this. I don't think there's anything here that was really noteworthy for me. Forgotten Worlds is a good game. Oh, Beyond Oasis. I used to play this on emulator. I bought it loose from the flea market. Good game. Really good RPG. And a lot of these loose carts were from the flea market. Friend of the show, that lady, you might have seen her in old videos. I'll try to put a clip of her here. She was having a hard time selling Sega Genesis games. Again, this was like that weird lull in 2014, 2015, pre-pandemic. And she sold me a bunch of her loose Sega Genesis games that you can see here on the shelf for like $5 a piece. Anything with like these stickers, essentially. So I'll show those to you now. Shakan, Soldiers of Fortune, Justice League Task Force, Chuck Rock 2. Comic Zone is a game I grew up with. A cousin of mine, not the one who is ignoring me now, but another cousin. Good old Kajo. He had this game. Really just edgy. I wanted that hair. I wanted this guy's hair. Really cool art style in that game. Great graphics, great music. Fantastic game. Lots of good games in here. And I will show this one here, Growl. This was a Valley Village find. I didn't know what this game was when I saw it there. I bought it for like $4.99, I think. So how do I play my Sega Genesis? The same way I play the majority of my analog consoles on my Sony Wega. Again, this TV here looks great for retro video games, vintage video games, but really difficult with the viewing angles. Yeah, this is my wife's. I got a couple other Model 2s in the closet of doom there, but y'all ain't going in there. Anyways, that's my collection in a nutshell. Let's talk about it. So in summary, I have a pretty unique relationship with the Sega Genesis. I miss my cousins, man. I'll show you some notable items here. But overall, I'm grateful to have had the opportunity and the ability to hunt for these Sega Genesis games. And if I retired now, I'm good. I'm good. There's like one or two games that I wish I had. But if I don't have them, it's not the end of the world. Overall, the Sega Genesis is a great little console. I have a lot of memories, a lot of emotional baggage. Call me, man. Call me. I've been texting you for like a year. I really miss you. But until that day where he contacts me, I'm just grateful I have all these games that I can play until then. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you love me. Come back again as we continue this journey and deep dive into another console in my collection. That's it for me, Queen 8. Peace. I'm out. I always loved the art of this game growing up. But one of my earliest memories is like my uncle. Shout out to you, Uncle Tokne. He had a cup of this from 7-Eleven, and I would always look at it every time I went to his house. My grandma, his mom, used to use that cup to water her plants all the time.